Bring back rock.
Hey, it's Dean and welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today we're talking about a band that I don't feel gets enough love on some of the message boards. Just don't hear much about them. They're a tale of two bands, but they had two major label releases, and between those releases, they changed over half their members and totally changed their sound, going from an alternative sounding band to just a dirty rock and roll band. Before I get talking about them, let me just say thanks to people like Sean, Aaron, MJ, Thunder Dream, and Grassburner that hit that subscribe button. If you like hearing about either the bands you loved from back in the day maybe, or hear about bands you might miss from back in the day, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. I really do love when I see those numbers creep up. So, enough self-promotion. Let's just get right to Royal Court of China. Formed in Nashville, Tennessee, home of country music, Joe Blanton, singer and guitarist, had a sleaze punk band called The Enemy, which led him to forming this band. Now, the band took its name from Paul Rodgers and Jimmy Page's idea for a band name. It's a reference to high-quality heroin. Page and Rodgers eventually went with the name The Firm, and our boys from Nashville nicked the name to become Royal Court of China. The members were Joe Blanton on vocals and guitar, Chris Mikow on drums, Oscar Rice on guitar, and Robert Loge on bass and mandolin. Yes, mandolin. See, for this video, this is not the version of the band we're going to be focusing on, but let's start there. Being in Nashville, there was definitely a country influence. Although live, Joe Blanton insists they were always a straight-up rock band. Now, the first EP, Off the Beaten Path, came out in 1986 and was independently released, which led them to signing with A&M Records and releasing a self-titled album in 1987. These albums had an alternative vibe, maybe an REM feel. There were divisions in the band as guitarist Oscar Rice and bassist Robert Loge were drawn to the more country and folky sound, and drummer Chris Mikow and singer Joe Blanton wanting to rock. After a tour with REO Speedwagon, the band split. Rice and Loge formed a band called The Shakers, and Blanton and Mikow retained the name and contract to put a new version of the band together for album number 2, which was called Geared and Primed and released in 1989. Now, the second album had members Joe Blanton, Mikow, Drew Cornett was new on bass, and Jeff Mayers was new on guitar, although Josh Weinberg supposedly did most of the guitars on the album. Geared and Primed was a major change. They were now a down and dirty rock band in the vein of Junkyard, Dangerous Toys, Dirty Looks, or Circus of Power. As stated earlier, before Royal Court of China, Joe Blanton had a sleaze punk band called The Enemy and took some of the material from that outfit for Geared and Primed. The band landed tours with Cheap Trick and Joan Jett. Good tours, but maybe not exactly their audience. The album sold about twice as well as the debut, but not well enough. Around this time, A&M was sold to Polygram, and the man who signed the band moved over to head their movie division, and soon after the band split. Although in 1995, Joe Blanton, I'm a little confused, either Joe Blanton and or the Royal Court of China, recorded a Christmas song called Santa Claus is Back in Town with Elvis Presley's, yes, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley's original backup band. It's a pretty cool track. Also, and this is cool, A&M suggested for their video Half the Truth off of Geared and Primed that they have none other than Sam Raimi direct it. Yes, Sam frickin' Raimi, director of the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies and the Evil Dead trilogy, and so much more. And producing was none other than star of the Evil Dead franchise, Bruce Campbell. Yes, our hero from shows like Brisky County Jr. and the King of Thieves, Autolycus from the Hercules and Xenoverse. So much more. Bruce Campbell, a B-movie legend, author, and more, was tapped to produce. Now, Ted Raimi, Sam's brother, you'll probably recognize also, was on hand to help. If you know anything about Sam Raimi, his car, the classic, a yellow 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88, makes it into virtually everything he directs, including this video. Sam directed exactly 2 music videos in his career, this one and Iggy Pop's Cold Metal. Now, Bad Reputation Records has re-released Geared and Primed with 2 bonus tracks in 2020. Joe Blanton is still out there playing and occasionally reunites with the geared and primed version of Royal Court of China for shows. Now for this video, I'm focusing on songs from Geared and Primed, their second album. So let's hear some samples and I will catch up with you again at the end of the video. Alright, so that was a little bit about Royal Court of China. Where can you find them? Well, unfortunately, they are not on the streaming services. They have some live songs you can hear on there, but the albums are not out there. You can find Geared in Prime re-released on Bad Reputation Records, so I suggest you get it from there. The vinyl isn't that expensive in the secondary market. I just picked it up on vinyl to go along with my CD, so you can find them all those places. I just want to say thanks once again to everybody who shares or comments or just watches these videos. It really makes my day, and I really appreciate it. And thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next episode.